So so far so good. You guys have really studied a lot throughout the few days of free training. B square, stop your camera. Okay. So you guys have gone through a lot throughout the week. And if I'm to ask many of you how things have been so far and how things have been so far and the things you've studied, I know that you guys are going to say a lot of things. Yeah, because you have really done a whole lot of stuffs with the trainings that you had with the first presenter. As I said, I watched the video and I really also learned a lot. In fact, there were some tools myself I didn't know that throughout the training that he did, I got them down. I even signed up on some of the AI tools that he actually introduced. Yeah, I even signed up on them. I'm trying to remember some of the tools, but it looks like I've forgotten. I want us here to tell us some of the AI coding platforms that he talked about. How many of you are able to remember?
Oh, okay. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Um, During our last meeting, you talked about a lot of agentic IDs. Example are Coda, Hero, RenServe, Keza, and so many of them. Yeah, so that's what I remember.
Okay. Um, any other from other participants? Because that is the purpose of which we have been part of this particular training. That we would want to actually learn to do something. So I want to hear from the other participants too, not from the organizer. Because for the organizer, because he organized it, always is in the meeting. So what about others? What about the others?
Hello,
Yes.
sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, you can be heard. Wisdom.
All right. Thank you. It's good evening. Please, in our previous
Yeah, good evening.
presentation,
We can hear you. You
we
can
talk,
talk.
we learned about the one compiler and the Kimi. They are also part of the AI
Yeah,
system,
you have done well. The one
and we use
compiler is what I
Google
was
Gemini
trying to
tool
remember.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. The one compiler is what I was actually trying to remember. The one compiler. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. So these are tools that are available for AI coding. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. When it comes to the IT environment, there are a lot of tools that are available for people to use. Some of them you have not even heard about them, but they are there. I did a survey, like I created let me show you this one. Uh, I did I built a voting platform, and just to see, I'll be showing some of the web applications and a website I have built with vibe coding. In fact, I am not a hard coder. That is the fact. I'm not a hard coder. I'm like you. But I leveraged on AI tools to build my applications. maybe I'm an IT person, so possibly I have basics in the IT stuff, but I'm not a hard coder. But because of the basics I have, I leverage on these kind of skills to actually do something that will be beneficial to myself as an IT person. Because as an IT person, at least there is a point or there is a particular line in the IT environment that you can actually benefit from. So far as you are an IT guy, at least you can do something. So since vibe coding has now come to stay, at least we can also leverage. But one thing that vibe coding has helped many people is that you don't need to become an IT guy by default before you can actually now build websites. You can do that even if you're not an IT guy. But you should know, I understand that in the training that we had previously, you should be able to have some basis in what you are trying to do. If you don't have the basis, it becomes very difficult for you. But then you don't have to be a fully IT guy before you can now build websites and some of these things. But you should be able to have the basis. You should be able to have the basis. If you don't have the basis, you won't be able to achieve it well, because whatever you are doing needs critical thinking. Before you can build websites and some of these things. But you should be able to have the basis. I mean, I'm trying to set up my YouTube and share the link in the group so that later those who could not join can follow the I'm trying to set up my YouTube and share the link so that 9 minutes, guys. Okay. If you have questions, put them down because we are going to do Q&A on this session as well. If you have questions, put them down. Okay. So thank you for the wait. So I was saying that myself, I am a vibe coder. Redpen knows me. I'm a vibe coder. I'm not a hard coder. So not everything that I know about hard coding. Yeah, even some of the languages I've not even studied them, even though I'm an IT guy. But I've been able to leverage on AI to build a lot of systems. But my concentration today isn't about you building a website or you building a web application, but my concentration is you building a secured system. A secured system. Vibe coding by default was not developed for non-coders. It is something that you should be able to put at the back of your mind. Vibe coding is not basically for non-coders or non-programmers. It's something that is built for programmers to speed up their work. But it has a larger advantage, and the larger advantage is that people who don't even know how to code can leverage on that tool and do something. And those of us who are IT guys but are not programmers, because we have little knowledge about the IT languages and other stuff, we are able to also leverage on this tool to build systems. So one would say that the entry level has now become very easy. The entry level has now become very easy. Now you don't need to go and learn Python. You don't need to go and learn React. You don't need to go and learn ABCD before you be able to know how to code. That is the benefit. But despite all these things, you should also be able to understand the basics of what you are doing. You need to understand the environment so that you can actually build something that is beneficial. Because if you are building a system and the system you are building is not that secured, no company or business will hire you to build systems for them, because you have to test the system for them to see that it is secure. Because every company is not so much concerned with the beauty of the system, but the security aspect of the system, whereby their system will be able to stand cyber attack. Even though we cannot eradicate cyber attacks entirely, but then that kind of higher assurance should be given when they are using the system. People cannot hack into their system each and every time. Even bigger companies are being hacked. How much more system that we build that are not that secure? So I just went to ChatGPT and created an election for the best AI tools. I just want to show you some of the AI tools that are available. There are a lot of them, each and every day. A lot of AI tools are coming up. So when you come here, so we have AI tools for chatbot and assistant, a lot of them. We have, so it was a voting thing I did for people to vote the best AI tool available. So when you do that, let me rather look at the results instead, so that we wouldn't waste too much time. Yeah, so when you look at the result, we have best AI chatbot. These are just few. AI coding assistant. So these are some of the coding assistant. We have the Cloudy, the GitHub Copilot, the Cursor, the Tab9, the Replit AI, the Codium, Amazon Code Whisperer, the One Compiler, the Kimi. All of them are there. AI image generators. We have AI video generators. We have voice audio tools. We have best AI research tool. So if you are into research, these are tools you can use to do research. We have best AI content tool. So if you are a content writer, you can use some of these AI. So we have a lot of them. Best AI design creative tool. Okay, Canvas for you to design flyers, Figma AI. Now, those who have been using Figma, manual work has now been reduced. You can use AI to now build your full Figma pages and other stuffs. We have open source local AI. So these are AI tools you can build upon to also create your own AI applications. These are just free source. So we have a lot of AI tools available. And in the coding environment, we have a lot of them available. So you are supposed to know them, leverage on them, understand them, and use them. That is simply simple. Good. So today we are going to look at secure coding in the age of vibe coding. Secure coding in the age of vibe coding. As I said, it is not just about asking ChatGPT to create a website for you. For that one, it's easy. Asking GitHub Copilot to create a website for you, asking ChatGPT to create a website for you, asking One Compiler to create a website for you. That is very simple. But the question is that, is there any security consideration when you are building those websites? The fact is that, the first time GPT came into existence, it wasn't coding. It wasn't coding. Even it was not that perfect as we have it today. Recently, now we have separate and let's say a full structure built in ChatGPT for coding. So it means that each and every day, these AI tools keep advancing. So maybe in the next in the next update, or let's say some update to come the next time, they are going to integrate a full secure structure when you ask it to build a system for you. But currently, as we speak, there are a lot of research that is going on. Currently, my school here, we are having a research on vulnerabilities when we are doing vibe coding. The reason is that when you ask the AI tool to build, for example, a login system for you, it is going to build a login system for you. You can create accounts, you can log in, you can log out. But the truth of the matter is that the security measures that a login system should have was not added. The AI will not think of adding that security measures. For example, if you are creating an account on a system, your password is not supposed to be saved in the database as a plain text. The password is supposed to be saved in the database as a ciphertext, or let's say a hash, a hash test. It should be hashed so that people cannot retrieve the password or they cannot know the password of the user. But there are instances where when you ask AI to build a login system for you, by default, it might expose the password. So if you don't know how to build a login system, how password is able to is supposed to be saved in the database, you think you have created a login system that is able to let people log in and log out. But when attackers try to hack your system and they get a database, they're able to get all the login details of your client or of your users. And that is a great breach of privacy. So if you are a vibe coder, someone who is trying to speak a natural language to an AI assisted platform, how are you supposed to prepare your prompt? How are you supposed to give it the idea and the logic? Is it just telling the AI, I want you to build a login system for me, and that is all? Or you should be able to give it a structured prompt. In the previous trainings, when I was watching the video, I even realized that our first facilitator had a data set, like he had a folder where some prompts were in there, and these prompts were structured. So the fact that we have vibe coding, that it can just tell the AI, build a website for me, doesn't mean that the language you're supposed to speak has to be just raw. Let me show you this website link. I think you can go there to read more about prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is another thing you are supposed to look at. Go to Google certificate. Let me see if that is right. Yeah. So if you go to YouTube, go to Google Career Certificate. Google Career Certificate. Every day they are having a live presentation. Every day they are having a live presentation. They are giving tutorials on how to do this, how to do that, and new technologies that are coming up. So we have prompt engineering as I think they have a video in there. So if you come to courses, they have all the courses here. These are free. But if you want to get a certificate from these videos, then you need to buy it on Coursera. So the videos here are free, but the courses itself and the certificate are on Coursera. So you can come here and watch the video to understand certain techniques when it comes to vibe coding and prompt engineering, how you should be able to prompt. Even when you're using Gemini, because Gemini comes from Google, they have provided a lesson on how to speak with Gemini. So there are a lot of things here. Just go to Google Career Certificate and let me see if I will see prompt engineering. Yeah, so we have it over here. Discover the art of prompting. What is prompt engineering in AI? Every Google AI Essential course lesson. So if you want to use Gemini, you should be able to learn prompting on Google Career Certificate so that you understand the steps. If you want to prompt an AI, what should be the content? What should be the structure? If you don't give it that kind of structure, it might give you something that you don't like. And you might think that the AI is not good. Because what you give to the AI is what the AI gives to you. So I think there's something we can go there to watch. Yeah, they have a lot of videos over here. A lot of video that will help you, fundamental in programming, a lot of them. So take the opportunity and learn them. Just go and watch them. Every day they are having live sessions. Every day they're having live sessions. So that is just by the way. So now let's look at the security aspect I'm talking about. Now, one thing that you need to look at when you are doing vibe coding is to look at balancing speed with security. So the fact that you are given the prompt doesn't mean you should not think about security. Security should be the first thing you talk about. I have been doing vibe coding for so many times, and I'll show you some of the systems I've built with vibe coding, and I tested it on accredited website to check the security measures, and it had grade A. So the work that you have to put in to get a secured website from vibe coding, it's not that simple. You need to think wide. You need to think wide before you get it. It is not that the AI cannot give you that secured website, but it has not been trained to first look at security, because most of the codes it provides are on GitHub. So it has a lot of codes available that it reads data from. AI is still under development. They are always training it based on research and other stuffs. So that is why each and every time you get update, ChatGPT has now been updated. Now, if you have been using GitHub Copilot in VS Code to do your coding, you realize that with Cloudy Opus 4.6, most of the times when you ask it to do something, it will pause and give you suggestions, then you can pick from. But at first, it wasn't like that. So each and every time, AI is being updated. So you may get to a time that when you ask it to build a login system, it rather think about a secured login system than a functional login system. But currently, it builds or it looks at functionality, beauty, and that is all. The other aspect of it has to come from you, the coder, or you, the vibe coder. So the rise of AI-assisted development has introduced new security challenges. So while speed is prioritized, it's crucial to maintain secure coding practice to protect software integrity and user data. So when you go to Replit and you're using Replit to build a system, never think that Replit is a high coding environment. So Replit is supposed to know that this is the secure thing you're supposed to get. You have to let it know what you want to get, or what you want your system to be like, how secure do you want your system to be. Rate limiting and all those kind of secure structure needs to come from you. So the system that you've started building throughout the training, you can ask the same AI you are using to build a system that how secured is my website, and you would notice a lot of vulnerabilities it is going to write for you as suggestions, that you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. Then one of the easiest thing is that when it gives you those kind of security suggestions, you just ask it, then implement it for me. So that is something simple. Now, secure coding is crucial for protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of systems. We have what they call the CIA triad. When it comes to the cybersecurity environment, we talk about confidentiality, we talk about integrity, we talk about availability. So people you are building the system for, your system has to be confidential. That is, data on the system has to be confidential. It is not supposed to be released to third parties, either by accident or by intentionality. You need to look at that. And so when you are building a system, you should consider these three kind of objectives. Is my system confidential? Do I have a high level of integrity in my system, where my system can be trusted? the availability of my system. If there is any attack somewhere or my data get lost, is there any way I can get the data again? Is there a proper backup procedure? So these are the things you should think about it. So me being a cybersecurity student, the moment I start building a system, I just think from the cybersecurity perspective, because I know that any little thing that is done or any vulnerability that is identified in the system becomes a risk that cyber attack or hackers can just attack and it will damage the system. So because I have a cybersecurity background, when I'm building systems, I first consider how secured would my system be. The same way you are supposed to do if you are building your website. Don't be so much enthused and amazed about the functionality of the system. Think about security. Vibe coding leverages AI-assisted tools like GPT, GitHub to rapidly generate code, and this enhances productivity, but also necessitates vigilance in reviewing security practices and ensuring code integrity. So, guys, I always say that vibe coding is not something outside the IT environment, or let's say programmers environment. It is not something that has come to replace programmers. No, 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 no. It is something that has come to enhance the work of programmers, but as an advantage to those who are not programmers, because vibe coding only needs your natural language. So if you are not a programmer or you don't have much knowledge about programming, with just a language, build an e-commerce website for me. Lovable will build the website for you. But there comes in the programming skills, the programming understanding, the basics of what you want to do. So if it builds the e-commerce landing page for you, hot nest, what do you do to make sure that when someone is buying your item, because you're going to integrate payment inside. So when someone is buying the item, no attacker will be able to come in and attack the website so that it will direct the money onto their account. So these are the things you're supposed to look at when you are building the website. I'm not here to give you a particular security principle. I'm just here to expose you for you to understand that when you are building your website with vibe coding, don't be so much happy about what the Lovable or the Replit or the GitHub or the ChatGPT or the Gemini has given to you, but think about the security of the system, how you can even maintain the system. If you have been doing vibe coding for long, let's say if you're not a hard coder and you have been doing vibe coding for long, you know how stressful it is in even maintaining it. Sometimes when you ask it to do a correction for you, it will end up affecting other parts also. So vibe coding is not that easy. No, 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 no. Anything that you think about is not easy. Vibe coding means that your hands are no more going to work. It is your thought, your thinking, your logics. So if you don't know how to think deep, how to give difficult logics, or let's say not difficult logics, how to give reasonable, complicated logics to the AI tool, it cannot give you the best. It cannot give you the best. So you should be able to know how to give proper logics. If you want to build an e-commerce website, you ask yourself, do you know an e-commerce website? What are the functionalities of an e-commerce website? How secured should an e-commerce website be? So you are the architect. You are not just going to tell the AI, build an e-commerce website, but you should be able to know everything about e-commerce websites. So when you are going to do the vibe coding with the AI, you know your left from your right. You know that for an e-commerce website, these are the security measures I'm supposed to put in place. So this one too, you don't have to worry so much about it. You can ask Gemini, ChatGPT, I want to build an e-commerce website. What are the functionalities of an e-commerce website? What should be the secure infrastructure of an e-commerce website? How secure can I build the e-commerce website? So GPT or Gemini or any other test AI tool will give you the full structure, the full security measures. Then after understanding these kind of measures, you now start to build your system. You remember the first training you did, our first facilitator created folders and created particular files and names in all these folders. Why did he do that? He's trying to tell you that the fact that vibe coding is available doesn't mean you are not supposed to do any structured process. Vibe coding is not to replace a proper structure. It is something to speed up the structure. So it means that the kind of heavy work you're supposed to do to get a proper system, you're still supposed to do it. You're supposed to think, have the proper logics and the secured process to make sure that your coding environment or your vibe coding thing you are doing is on track. We have what you call the 10 OWASP security vulnerability list. Let me search it here for you to see. 10 OWASP vulnerabilities. In the field of cybersecurity, we have these 10 OWASP vulnerabilities. I want their sites specifically. Okay, let me open this one and see if it's going to give me something. No, I don't want this one. Let me try this. I want their main website. Okay, so this is a research we are working on. We are working on the 10 OWASP, the OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. So if you look at my table over here, I think that is the link. Yeah. So the moment you start to build a system, a website, a web application, think about the top 10 OWASP vulnerabilities. Okay. These are things that the world IT gurus have come together to realize that these 10 things are vulnerabilities that systems may have. So when you are building a website, you think about this top 10. Number 1 is broken control, broken access control. Number 2 is security misconfiguration. Number 3 is software supply chain failures. Number 4 is cryptographic failures. Number 5 is injection. Number 6 is insecure design. Number 7 is authentication failures. Number 8 is software data integrity failures. Number 9 is security logging and alerting failures. Number 10 is mishandling of exceptional conditions. These are the top 10 security issues that comes up when you are building a website. You can just go to let me share the link in the group. You can go and read more about it. It's well understanding. You just have to know that these are the things you're supposed to look at. So when you are building a website, you think about broken access control. What is broken access control? you make sure you put it inside. What is security misconfiguration? What is it about? What is software supply chain failures? So these are vulnerabilities that have been identified. These are weaknesses that systems do have. So when you build a website, you now ask the AI. So let me do an example right away in, do I do it in Kaiser? Okay, let me do it in ChatGPT, because Kaiser is going to try to create folders and blah, blah, blah. So let me do it in ChatGPT. Okay, so for example, I ask create let me see if I can do it Gemini, because I want the page to show. Gemini. I believe we are following. If I'm really going fast, let me know, because by 3 I have another meeting, so I actually want to. Oh, you let me do in GPT. So create a login system for. Okay, create a login system for me. Just that. I should have. So it has just created these things. Okay. So now we have all these things over here. So it has just created the register.php. This one, I didn't give it a proper prompt. This is not a proper prompt. Okay. When you are prompting AI to do something, this is not a proper prompt. It even used PHP because I've been using PHP a lot. So now I want you to identify the vulnerabilities. This is called AI against AI. Vulnerabilities in this system as against the top 10 OWASP security measures. So let's see if it will be able to identify the vulnerabilities. So if probably you give this simple prompt, it has given you nice PHP styles over here. So you might think that, okay, these codes that it has provided, they are all correct, because after all, the person is able to create a login and do blah, 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 blah. But now look at what it has provided. I want you to identify the vulnerabilities, and it's saying that I will audit the PHP session-based login system. I gave you against the latest blah, blah, blah. 1, broken access control. So if you later add endpoint that put this blah blah and only hide buttons on front end, users can still hit URL directly unless you enforce check server side. So you see, it has built something for me. I can use it simple, in a simple form, but it has vulnerabilities that attackers can simple get access to. So if you don't push it to implement these security measures, these kind of server-side authorization checks cannot be done automatically. Now, if you look at the next one, it says that if PHP errors are displayed in production, stack traces can leak info. What it provided had no explicit security headers. It has no cookies. So it means that there is an error when it comes to cookies, security headers, and all those kind of stuff. It was not provided in the default code that was given. So you need to know what should be done. Then under security misconfiguration, it will now fix it. Disable display errors in production, add security headers, configure cores, and probably integrate cookies and other things also in there. So this is just an example of thing I gave. Now look at this one. If your site runs on HTTP, no at rest, password hashing is okay, but you are not enforcing strong password policy. So even in password creation, there is a policy for you to follow. Password should have a capital letter, a small letter. It should be, let's say, a minimum of 10 or 8. You should have a symbol in there. So here, it was able to do a hash password, but it could not provide a good one. because the password created is not stronger. So anybody can sit somewhere and break into the password because the password is not considering a symbol, an alphabet, or let's say a minimum amount of words that it can be used. And let's look at the injection. It says that you use prepare statement, so basic SQL injection risk is reduced. Still at risk, if you add search endpoint later added and start concatenating SQL strings, injection can come in. So it means that the system that we just asked AI to build, even though it has given us some proper codes, all these codes that are being provided has a lot of security vulnerabilities in there. So if you just push this on the internet, someone somewhere can just hack your system, and that is all. So you should be able to know the top 10 OWASP security measures. So when you build a system, you ask the AI, kindly scan and identify all the vulnerabilities as against the top 10 OWASP security measures. So the system is going to do the scanning and identify issues that is with broken access control, issue that is with security misconfiguration, issue with software supply chain failures, issue with cryptographic failures, issue with insecure design that will be against brute force, issue with authentication failures, issue with software and data integrity, issue with security logging, and issue with mishandling of exceptional conditions. If you don't have knowledge of these things, you might think that you have actually created a website, but I tell you, the website cannot stand the test of time because people can simply hack into the system and cause trouble. So guys, I'm just, as I said, I'm just trying to expose you to a knowledge on how you can build a secure system. I cannot see everything, but I just want you to be security conscious. When you are building the system, ask yourself, how secured is my system? And what we measure security for or against is the OWASP top 10 insight. So I've pasted the link in the chat session. Just search for the OWASP website, read about them. You would understand all the insight into these vulnerabilities. These are things the world IT powers have brought up because that is what companies are being hacked on each and every day. I was trying to look at for a particular website. This website hosts, it displays all the time hacking that is going on live every day. Let me see if I could be able to see that kind of link. But as I'm looking for it, if you have any question, kindly bring up your question so that I can tackle it specifically. As I said, I'm not going to talk so much on this. I'm just trying to let you understand that now you are a vibe coder and you need to consider security when you are building your systems. Always ask AI, how secure is my website? You can ask it against the top 10 OWASP security measures so that it will be able to know that, okay, when I talk about injection, is it okay? When I talk about security configuration, is it okay? Then it can be able to build the system very well for you. So if you have any question, you can bring it up as you have started doing your vibe coding stuff. Then I tackle the questions briefly. I will be sharing one link very soon. I'm looking for that particular link. Yeah, any question so far? Or any challenge with your vibe coding journey? Let's bring them up. Anything you don't understand or you want more clarification on? Are we here? Red Pen, are your people here?
Yes, they are here.
Yeah, we are
I
here.
don't know why they are too quiet like that. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Or you
We are
don't have
here.
any question?
Yes, sir.
My people always understand.
Vibe coding is something that if you are not really prepared, you start, but you won't continue again because the maintenance of your system is key. I remember I was building a Facebook application. I built a system to a point that I integrated a lot of things, Facebook Market, a lot of things inside. Just one error that happened, it broke the entire system. Because I don't know hard coding, I'm not able to read the entire project to know where the error is. Anytime I give AI the chance to look for the error and fix it, still that error still keeps happening. And I looked at the time I have spent sitting doing this and it got broken. I nearly stopped doing it. I nearly stopped doing it, but I had to divide the project into two and removed all the other aspects that I had taken so much time to build and started it all over again. Because looking at the time I've spent to do all these things and that I had that error, it was very heartbreaking. So if you just think about, I give it the natural language, it gives me the work, you might end up in the middle of the project and you might stop because it will get to a point. One thing is that AI assisted coding cannot live without human in the loop. We call something human in the loop. It means that a human being is needed to make sure that what you are doing is right and what you get is what you want is what you are actually getting from the coding. So you are supposed to understand some of these kind of technology, some of these bases when it comes to building your website so that you can have the best out of it. If not, you're going to have a lot of issues when you are actually building. And you can build a website for your client. And if it is being hacked, you'll be in trouble. If the person knows law, the person can sue you because you have built a system that is prone to hacking. I don't know if you heard the news about someone suing Facebook CEO that the app he has created has caused her to be addicted. So because he has implemented infinite scroll, and sometimes when you are watching Facebook, video that people do watch the more, that video comes up in the features all the time. So he has just sued the Facebook CEO because of that feature. Even Facebook CEO, they are being sued. How much more us? So if we are building the website, we should be able to consider some of these security measures. If someone is going to sign up on your system, it means that you are going to ask the person for the name, the location. Sometimes you ask for the phone number, the email. Sometimes you ask for the date of birth. So if you have all this information on your system and someone is able to hack your system, it means he's also going to get all this information and he's also going to be on your client or your users, which is going to be a big problem. So you need to have that consideration so well in your mind. I'm still waiting for questions. If there is no question, then we'll wrap everything up. I'm going to show you a link right away.
Say,
Yeah.
I want to ask beyond the OWASP top 10 security measures, what frameworks or tool will you recommend for us
Tool
for
for
securing our module full stack project?
Yeah. So as I said, the top 10 is a world standard. That is what everybody is looking at. So if anyone is building a website, they look at this top 10. Do I have a secure structure against broken access control? Do I have a secure structure against SQL injection? So you need to make sure that your website or your web application is able to stand broken access control, because these are the threat people use to hack. So you see what I've just shown you on the screen. This is live cyber threat map. As we are speaking now, a threat has happened from United States to Taiwan. Someone has hacked someone in Taiwan. Someone is hacking another company in Brazil. As we are speaking right now, someone is from Canada is hacking someone in Israel. So it means that even these companies, they are being hacked each and every day. So when you go to threat map, you would see hacking that is going on. So as we speak now, we have, is it 12 million? Well, I don't know. I think if it is 12, so we have like 12 million attacks right now as we are speaking. 12 million attacks. And the map will show you which country is attacking which country. As we are speaking now, people are targeting. So the countries are Nepal, Indonesia, I can't mention this name, and Mongolia. So you see, one has now happened from Canada to Israel, and from here to, so these are hacking that is happening right now as we are speaking. So each and every second, someone is being hacked. So if you don't build a system that will be against this kind of hacking stuff, Charlie, you build a system all right, but your system is going to be vulnerable. Now, after building your system and hosting your system, if you want to check how secure your system is, we have a website called the immuneweb.com. You can create an account though. If you come to the immuneweb.com, you just type in your website address over there. So for example, this is my website address. I just type it in here, then I click on the go. It is going to actually scan my website to check for all vulnerabilities and provide me with a result, whether my website is secured. If you want to get a full report, you need to actually buy it. So you see, when it's testing, it is going to test for web server configuration, web software test. It's going to test all the security things that a website needs or an application needs. Then it will give you the result and recommendations and things you need to fix. If your website is vulnerable, then you fix those kind of things over there. So it is also testing GDPR compliance tests. It is testing PCI DSS compliant test. So it will test all the world-known policies and regulations. When it is okay, you are good to go. Yeah. So that is basically what I just want you to understand, that it is good you are building website, but one of the disadvantage of vibe coding is that the course provided does not include security measures. That is the fact. If you build a registration system, it is not secured. You need to secure it. And how do you secure it? By implementing the top 10 OWASP security measures. One thing that makes it easier is that you are not going to do it manually. The same AI tool you are using, if you are using Tesa or VS Code or any other thing, for example, I have been using Kesa and VS Code, GitHub Copilot a lot. So this is an error. I shouldn't have shown my database details. So when you come to the chat with the AI, you just ask the AI. You have built the entire system. So you just ask the AI, you want it to scan and identify all the vulnerabilities in your website or your web application as against the top 10 OWASP security measures. You can even paste the security measures one by one. Kindly scan and check if my website is secured based on the first OWASP top 10 security measures, which is maybe broken access control. So the AI will just, so for example, I will just test this. Kindly scan and test my system against OWASP security measure for SQL injection. So SQL injection is they inject malicious items into your database so that they can get access to all the database stuff. So I can just ask him, kindly scan and test my system against OWASP security measure for SQL injection. So the system, the AI will now turn itself into a security tool. Then it's going to scan the entire project, especially the database. So when it scans the database, it will now give me the result that, okay, your system is secured or your system is not secured. So if it is not secured, this is what you can do to make sure it is well secure. That is very simple. So, but if you don't have that kind of idea in your mind, you will not even think of asking it, because maybe you don't know these top 10 OWASP security measures. So you don't even ask it. All you know is that you have built your website and it's working. But someone is in it will be somewhere and the person would hack the system. By the time you realize, your data is lost and you cannot retrieve it unless you pay a huge sums of money. So you need to take note of that. So writing the OWASP SQL injection report and applying hardening fix. So it means that it is trying to check if it has passed that kind of SQL injection. Even though I didn't ask it to fix anything, but it's trying to do it to fix it. That is also one thing about AI. Sometimes when you are giving it a prompt, you have to let it know that don't do it now, do it later. If not, it is going to do something that you have not even asked it to do, even though you would want it. But you should have it step by step. You want this at a time. So let's see what is happening. I have a lot of database integration, so it is trying to check all of them to see if all of them have the particular protection. So you see now this scan2 is working. It is also going to check, okay, I think it's done. Oh, let me see. Yeah, so you see, what is the grade here? Your final score is grade A. So it means that this website that I just checked on the immuneweb.com, at least it's able to pass grade A. It means it's secured. It will be very difficult for someone to hack the system. If I want the report, I think I have to pay. Yeah, for that one, it's not free. I have to, before they can give me the report, but I don't need the report for anything for now. But it found some issues here. You see, it found web software a security issue, the GPDR, no issue, the content security policy test, no issue, but there was no major issue also found with the headers, but there is a PCI DSS compliance test that it needs to look at. So this will be the report. Then when you get the report, you would see how to fix it. So for example, when you come to the detailed one, privacy policy, I added it. You know, when you build a website, you might not think of adding privacy policy. You see, it checked for the privacy policy. When someone visits your website, for example, this is the website I just looked at. Okay, so when you come to my website like this one, I have privacy policy over here. Privacy policy. You should provide privacy policy for it to be an official website. You need to provide your cookies policy. You need to provide your terms of service. You need to provide your transfer. Whatever service you have, you need to have the kind of privacy policy over there, because these are something that is being checked all the time. So let's look at the website security tool. It says it's good configuration. TLS encryption is good. Cookie protection is good. Cookie disclaimer. So I have a cookie disclaimer also as well. If you are a first timer and you visit my website, it's going to ask you to accept cookies. Cookies helps the system or your browser to always remember whatever you did with the website, and later when you are visiting it, it gets remembered. We have the PCI DSS compliant test. So no publicly vulnerabilities seem to be present in the fingerprinted version of the website. So this one is good, but I didn't add what they call the WAF. So no WAF was detected. So it means that I just have to copy this and tell my AI that there is no WAF on my website. So it should add it, and it can add it for me. And some ATP headers related to security privacy are missing or misconfigured. Then we have missing required HTTP headers. So all I need to do is just to look at this report, then I just copy what it is recommending and I give it to my AI to fix it, and that is all. So if you're able to know that is when you'll be able to fix it. But if you don't know, you are not able to fix it. Okay, so that is what we are supposed to look at. Actually, I didn't ask it to create all these things, but it is trying to fix it. We just wanted to see the result, but it's trying to fix it automatically. After all, it's a benefit to me, so that's fine. Yeah. So that is the security aspect of. Okay, so let's see what it did. So the report is here. Okay, so let me quickly print it. Should I open it in the browser? Okay, let me open it in the browser and see if it's gonna. Oh, okay, let me Markdown. Let me download Markdown. Um, that's right. Okay. Yeah. As I'm trying to get the Markdown open, if you have any kind of question you can ask. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. Okay. So this is the findings that it did have. Para Parameterized queries used consistently. It passed. All user input passed via prepared statement. Dynamic where built from the user input also passed. But it says integer ID from get or post hardened. So it should be fixed. Then limit offset in query string also passed. So this is the report. All SQL that uses user controlled data uses prepare blah 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 blah. So I just want to say that it will give you the report. So you see all this in past. So it checked my list.php, my call.php, my bookmark.php, and all of them has passed. So the code base is in line with OWASP's guidance for preventing SQL injection. All identified ID parameters have been hardened with int, casting where applicable. So after checking everything and it's identified an error like this one, it now fixed it for me. So the next time I ask it to check again, you realize that it has passed the OWASP security injection policy. So I can ask it again to check another policy. So it will check all the 10 and make sure that my website is secured with all the 10. That is how it works. That is how it works. So I think it is enough for now. I would have to listen to your questions. I don't have to be talking alone.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before the questions come, I want to chip in this. Like,
Okay.
the premium session will be coming on soon, so I want them to be aware of it so that they can register and get more advanced on hands-on practicals like this,
Yeah.
so that they'll
Yeah,
be more advanced in the vibe
that's
coding,
very
you know.
that's very necessary.
Yes. So before their questions comes in, I just want to let them know that the premium session, we are still taking registration. So registration is still ongoing. So if you have any idea to pursue or be more professional in the vibe coding, you can DM me on the WhatsApp groups to be added to the premium class. Thank you.
Okay. Alex, Amos, Joseph, Web Dev, Wisdom. Any questions so far? I'm asking the other group to join this video because I'm supposed to meet them 9 p.m., but it's 9:22. So I want them to
Okay.
join here so that
Then it will be great for us to meet all of them, you know.
yeah, so
Frederick, you
think
can
I
ask
don't
a
have any
question.
question.
Yes, you can ask your question.
Yeah, if you have any question, you can ask. You know, I am like you. I am also a vibe coder. I'm not a hard coder. So I have a lot of experiences in vibe coding. All the systems
Yes,
I've
very
built,
true.
all the
Very true.
systems I've built, I built it with vibe coding. One of the powerful system I've worked on is called the adverse system. And one of the things that we would talk about in the pro stuff is because I'm a cybersecurity oriented, you know, I just asked it to build a cyber analytic dashboard focusing on all the things a cybersecurity analyst would want to focus when building a website. So when I go to my cybersecurity dashboard, I'm able to see the overview of what is happening, how many people are visiting my website each and every day, how many IPs are being blocked. If someone visits my website, where are they visiting from? So I have people visiting my website from Accra, Kumasi, some from Pensacola, or from the US. So anytime I'm able to see who is visiting my website, some from Middletown, a lot of them, and I'm able to see their IP address. So if there is any error, I can identify them easily. So these will give you some kind of risk, some security trend, others that are high, that are low, and all those kind of things. So you can build a full system 100% without knowing how to write a programming language. But then the effort you need to put inside is what matters. The effort you need to put inside is what matters. You need to actually understand what you are doing. Then you're able to build something that is secured, that someone can use. Because if someone is to provide their data on the system and your system is not secured, you are putting the person into danger. Because if someone hacks your system, he has gotten all the information that the person will have to give. And if you utilize vibe coding well, I tell you, there's nothing you cannot build. There are things I built, I never knew how to do it. For example, as I speak now, I'll be able to connect all my system to every API that I found on the internet. I can connect it to Telegram, to WhatsApp, to Stripe, to Paystack, to Haptel, unless I do not see that API. So far as that API is public, I'll be able to integrate it into my system all through vibe coding because the AI is able to do everything, but the logic will have to come to your mind. If you don't have the logic in your mind, AI will be like a KG student to you who knows nothing. But if you have the logics in your mind, you can direct it to do whatever you want it to do without breaking your code anywhere. And the more you are doing it, the more you are gaining the experience. I tell you, when I started, it wasn't like this. I started from Google Apps Script. I don't know if any one of you have heard about Google Apps Script. So Google
Yeah.
Apps Script is something very powerful. And if I tell you what I use Google Apps Script to build, it will marvel you. It's a full programming experience. But then all the Google products, Google Sheets, Google Docs, all of them, if you want to use it or customize it, you have to use Google Apps Script to do it. And I have a lot of applications I use Google Apps Script to build. For example, um, let me see this one. Okay, let me check this one. So this application, I use Google Apps Script to build it. Where is it? Document generator, yeah. So when I started my vibe coding stuff, I started with GPT and Google Apps Script. So this thing that you see here, I built it with Google Apps Script, and it's still on Google Apps Script. I've not converted it to React or any other programming language. I'm still using it on Google Apps Script. And if you want to use it, it's not really free. You have to buy a purchase before you can use it. So this is a document generator that you can use to generate anything that you want, certificate, badges, and everything. And this code that I write on Google Apps Script, you can use VS Code to write it, then you come and paste it in Google Apps Script. So all these things are for, and this is hosted on Google site. So one thing is that if you are able to understand Google Apps Script and Google Site, it means that you can build a website without even paying for anything. Because for Google Site, it's free. It's free. You don't pay for using Google Site. So if you know how to build Google Site and Google Apps Script, it means that you can actually build a full website with Google Site. But if you don't tell anybody that this is Google Site, the person will never know. Nobody would know what you have built is even from Google Site. So this is a website I built for my fellowship, and it was hosted on Google Site. So if you view the entire page, you would see that you will not even realize it is Google Site. You would think it's a full website. So this is a website I built on Google Site for my fellowship. And this was on Google Site. I didn't pay any money for getting access to Google Site. If you want to pay something, then that is your domain. So maybe in the pro version, I will teach you how you can build a full website on Google Site without wasting so much money on other kind of AI applications. But you can get something for yourself. You build everything on Google Site with Google Apps Script. Then the only thing that you have to pay for is your domain. That is, if you want to use a domain for the Google Site instead of the Google Site account, then probably you would come to setting and do the domain configuration. Then you have your domain configured. So when I started my line of brand, my website was hosted on Google Site, and all the automations that I have been using was fully over there. So vibe coding is something that has come to stay, but the more you are doing it, the more you get the experience. And as you are doing it, you should be able to consider the security aspect of it so that you can be equated to a programmer. Because a programmer, when he or she is building website, he has the knowledge. So he's able to provide all the things needed. So you being a vibe coder who may not actually have all the IT stuff that you need to get, you need to at least have the basis of using the vibe coding efficiently. As I said, put at the back of your mind that if you ask AI to build system for you, it is not actually secured. We are actually doing a research on vibe coding. So this is what we are working on. And our focus is we are trying to use ChatGPT and Cursor, compare them together. We give them a simple code without a security measure. Then we ask it to provide, let's say, build this thing for me. Then when it does it, we will run it with Bandit. And when we run it with Bandit, we are able to realize that if you look at this table, for instance, we are able to realize that when you use, let's say, you write the raw stuff for ChatGPT or Cursor, when it comes to authentication, there were a lot of vulnerabilities over here. A lot of vulnerabilities. You can only get it secured when you add security measures to it. So let's say, build a login system for me. Make sure you implement all the security measures that is needed for a login system. That is when the AI will start thinking about security. But if you don't ask it about security, it is not going to first look at that. It will only look at functionality. So you build a system, but the system will not be secure. So guys, I think that is all for now. I've been asking if you guys have questions, but it looks like there are no much questions. There are no much questions over there. So I think we'll have to end here so that the other group too can also come in. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the app script. Whether there's a way you can use app scripts, the Google app script that you talked of.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether there is a way you can use anti-gravity to do some debugging on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether you've ever tried that.
You can use any AI tool to write Google Apps scripts. even when VS Code and those stuff became so popular, I was using ChatGPT to write my Google Apps script. So I just come to ChatGPT, write, let's say, generate a Google Apps script. Let's say, okay, I want a website for my Google site, for my Google site. So I want a website for my Google site. Create a portfolio website for me with Google Apps Script. So I just asked GPT to create a portfolio website for, like, a Google Apps Script for me for my Google site. So then run is slow, sir. So you see, one thing about Google Apps Script is that you can only host the back end on Google Apps Script, but the front end is HTML and Java. The front end is only HTML and Java. It doesn't accept React or any other thing, or let's say PHP. It's just native Java and HTML. So this is my back end. This is my back end. Okay, this is my back end, and this is my front end. And the back end is connected to a spreadsheet. So all your data will be in spreadsheet. So for example, if this is my front end, okay, if this is my front end, I'll just copy this front. Okay, let me preview it here to see what it has done. Okay, this is just it has done. I want a full portfolio website, well designed and looks nice. Use my biography, my biography, to build it. The reason why I'm saying it should use my biography is that I have been using ChatGPT a lot. Okay, I think it was not on thinking. That is why it was giving me short things. I've been using ChatGPT here a lot. So it knows me. I've been uploading my CV and other stuffs. So I just asked it to use the data he knows about me to build that kind of portfolio website using Google Apps Script. Don't mind me about my spelling mistakes, and it will be able to do it rightly. So it is trying to think to provide the proper prompt that we need. So it's even keeping long to think. That's why I love Gemini. Because I said deep thinking, that's why it is keeping long to think like that. Let me stop it and start a new chat. Okay, so build a full HTML portfolio website for me. Just trying to see if this one too is not going to think so much. You can even use DeepSeek. DeepSeek is also one of the tools I had been using to. Okay, let's see. I think it's working now, but it's running slow. Maybe because I've opened a lot of tools over here. Okay, so it now knows my name, Selai. So as I said, I've been using it to do a lot of things. So it knows my name and what I use the system for. So this is just HTML and Java. So after getting this, I can paste it on Google Apps Script. This was not part of our training, but red pen.
Yeah, lie.
This was not part of, but let me. So Google Apps Script, you can read more about Google Apps Script. In fact, it's very powerful. With Google Forms, Google Form cannot accept payment, cannot accept a lot of validation. But with Google Apps Script, I can use Google Apps Script to build a Google form that will accept payment before you submit. So, but if you don't know about Google Apps Script, you cannot actually use it to do that. So those of you who are in your final year and you're going to do projects and you don't want to spend so much on some of these, you can leverage on Google Apps Script to build your full system. In fact, it's not something that is so like small. It's a big thing. It's a coding platform for all the Google products. So if you want to customize all the Google products, Google Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Sheet, Docs, the coding system you need to use the Google Apps Script. Yeah. So it's a very powerful, and these are all the projects I've built with Google Apps Script. All these ones. Even my first voting project I did was on Google Apps Script. All these ones are on Google Apps Script. So it's a very powerful tool that you can also use. And I know we will talk about it when the time is actually important. It's allowed in the group chat. We would talk about it when we are doing the pro one. It has a full environment that you can use all the time for your full project. So those of you who don't want to spend so much, this is what I built with Google Apps Script. I built it for youth camp registration. And if I don't tell you this is hosted on Google sites, you would never know. You would never know that this is from hosted on Google site. And it works so marvelous. I bought a domain for it. So this one is purely Google site and it's well secure. If you don't have access, you cannot access it. So that is something that you can also leverage upon. So what you are going to learn throughout the other session is very important. Very, very, very important. And now AI is available. So you see, it has written all the CSS, the Java, and everything. So if we are going deep into this, I can teach you how you can arrange these things on the Google Apps Suite environment, how you can deploy it, how you can make sure your sheet and everything is connected. Then you have a full website that you can even build for your association, your organization, yourself, and other things. As I said, when I started building these kind of systems, because of the money involved, what I actually focused on was on Google side. So all my automations was done on Google side. And it was very, very perfect. Yeah. I don't know whether my other team has joined from here. Is there anybody from the Vibe Coding Revolution team here? Okay, Aquinas is here. Yeah. Is there any final year student here? Final year IT student here? Okay.